This will be an age where New Yorkers expect from their leaders a bold vision of what we will achieve, rather than a list of excuses for what we are too timid to attempt. Central to that vision will be the most ambitious agenda to tackle the cost of living crisis that this city has seen since the days of Fiorella LaGuardia. An agenda that will freeze the rents for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants, make buses fast and free, and deliver universal child care across our city. May our only regret be that this day took so long to come.
Well, that's New York City's mayor-elect, Zohran Madani, gearing up to implement his socialist policies, including his claims that he will freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized units and build 200,000 affordable housing units. Unfortunately, all of those things are not under his purview. He doesn't have the authority to do any of that. Madani declared his victory as a mandate for change in the Big Apple. Joining me now is the Peebles Corporation founder, chairman, and CEO Don Peebles. Don, great to see you. And we thought you were the perfect guest to address this because you've got business throughout New York as well as in Florida, and you've seen this massive exodus from New York to Florida. Give us your reaction to the races this week.
Well, I think that the mayor-elect has a sense of optimistic naivety. The reality is government can't change this. All the mayors wanted to accomplish reducing the cost of housing, increasing affordability. And here New York sits with nearly 1 million units short of affordable housing if you look at people who are living at 80% or below area median income. So ultimately, the reality is that it's a long-term problem and government can't fix it, but the private sector is the only choice. And what you're seeing now is New Yorkers who are entrepreneurs, who are pro-business, who are market rate focused, are leaving and have left New York.
Yeah, and we're seeing the numbers continue to rise. The victory in New York is sparking an exodus to Florida. It's been going on for a while, but it is renewing now, this enthusiasm. The real estate market seeing a boom in Florida as wealthy New Yorkers escape higher taxes and other socialist policies. And the cities with the fastest growing populations of millionaires in the last decade include Scottsdale, Arizona, West Palm Beach, Florida, Miami, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Tell us how you see real estate getting impacted in New York and in Florida, Don.
Well, I think that, look, I think after COVID and we were able to work remotely as a nation, people were more portable and entrepreneurs were more portable and you could work from anywhere. And so what you're seeing is a pursuit for quality of life, pro-business environment, low taxes. And so states like Florida, Tennessee, Texas, those states are prospering. Florida is having a gold rush. It is booming. The real estate market continues to appreciate. The supply cannot keep up with demand. We've got several projects underway, ultra-luxury development in Miami along the water. We've got market rate rental buildings being developed, and the markets are very strong there because there's an influx of people coming from New York and California. And if you look at Dallas, Texas is booming right now. JP Morgan's made a massive investment there. So is Goldman Sachs. You have the financial services industry, those that were based in California, especially Southern California, moving there as well. So there's a flight to quality of life, flight to pro-business environments, and flight to lower taxes. And I think that what's going to happen is you're going to see that accelerate. We're already beginning to see it just in the next few days or the last few days in Florida.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned J.P. Morgan. I believe J.P. Morgan has more employees right now in Texas than it does in New York. And, you know, they've got this enormous new headquarters building in New York, but more, you know, employees in Texas. Don, what's your sense of real estate pricing in New York? How do you look at New York right now? If you're living there, you see this change about to happen, new mayor coming in next year. What do you want to do if you're thinking about potentially leaving New York City?
Well, right now, I think that you're going to see a continuation of high income earners, high net worth, and wealthy entrepreneurs. They're going to continue to look to Florida as a good place to base and then come to New York as a visitor, if you will, but they'll leave their residency there. I think you'll see much more of that. I think New York, interestingly enough, on the luxury condominium side and the co-op side, there was a lot of excitement, a lot of energy up until the summer. And then after the primary, it slowed down. And so what you're seeing now, I think if I'm an investor in New York, we would be looking at affordable housing. There's 1 million units short for affordable housing. And I do think that that's a problem that needs to be solved. The government can play a role in that by putting more money towards it and putting more financial incentives. So the government can play the role, but it has to be a private sector focused role. And I think that the mayor-elect will do that. I met with him during the general election, and he did indicate a willingness to engage businesses in the private sector to address this affordable housing cycle crisis. And I think that is where the opportunity is in New York City. I think you'll see businesses like J.P. Morgan and others, they are going to bet big in New York because it's the epicenter of capitalism. It still will be the financial capital of the world, but it will be less of an entrepreneurial environment. And I think that's what you'll see the shift coming. So I don't think I wouldn't be long right now on luxury condos right now, for example.
So will prices go down before they come back up in New York?
Yes, I do think so, especially on the ultra-luxury residential side. Luxury to ultra-luxury residential side, I think you'll see prices decline. I think the office market that had a significant recovery over the last 6 to 8 months, I think you're going to see that slow down a bit as well, because businesses are going to wonder whether or not there's going to be a shift or a further shift in leftist policies in terms of business regulation as well.
Well, I mean, one of the problems with Florida is that prices there might be getting out of reach for a lot of people.
Yeah, South Florida, Maria, you're right about that. Miami, Palm Beach counties, Broward County, prices have gone up significantly. But the west coast of Florida, where your prior guest was on, Naples, for example, Fort Myers, those are markets where there's significant opportunity. There was storm damage, so there's a lot of rebuilding going. Florida's a big state, and there's going to be other places that will be attractive.
Really great points all around. Don, great to see you. Please come back soon. Love having you. Thank you so much, sir. Don Peebles this morning.